All right, it's Jill Blanchette with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm back for my second card in the Delicate Wings April kit. So let's get started. Here's the second card that I made. You're going to use only the stamps in this card and the add-on dies. I use the butterfly and the word thanks. And these are the dies that go for April, May, and June. So we've got a card base of Moody Mauve that is 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to come in and you're going to score it, and let me score it at 4 1/4. Then you're going to cut it off at 1 1/4. So I'm going to go off on the right side of my paper, or my trimmer, over here for 1 1/4. We're going to cut that piece off, and we are done. Go ahead and burnish on that fold. For the inside, I'm just going to do that right now. I've got a 4 1/4 or 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white. We're going to use the stamps, and I used the little butterfly in Lost Lagoon. I'm going to put that down in the corner. I got a lot of cleaning of the stamps on this card, and I'll show you. And then in Moody Mauve, I'm going to make the dots for the base, or the bottom. I'm just going to, sorry. They kind of seem like they wrap around the butterflies. There's a angle to these dots. So I'm just going to put a few of them on the page. I'm going to go ahead and clean that because we will use that again. And then I'm going to glue this inside. I had some really good sun today, so I'm over filming from that spot that I keep telling you guys every time I film over here that I'm not going to film over here. But it just hit me today that I wanted to be over here. So I also cut out the word thanks. So I'm going to do that while I'm here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of it in different spots so that it sticks down. And I'm just going to set it on there in hopes that it went on straight. The letters are only kind of held together at the bottom, so it's easily twisted and moved around. So I'm gonna stop messing with that before I'm gonna put that aside and let it dry for a hot second. All right, so now we're ready with our front. So I've got a 2 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white. What we're gonna do is you're gonna stamp it in Lost Lagoon. You're gonna take a blender brush that you're going to pounce into your Moody Mauve, and then you're going to come over and pounce that onto your butterfly. and then just stamp it somewhere on your paper. Clean it off and repeat the process. And stamp that somewhere on your paper. And clean it off. So I'll show you one more and then I'll pause while I finish them off. So hang on, let me finish. All right, once we're done stamping those, we can close up the Moody Mauve and get out. We're going to use the little dots now. We're going to use those again. And then we're just going to fill in different areas of the background. And this is where I said it, I noticed it's, hold on. So we will continue making the dots around the background. Strategically random dots, you know. Gotta fill it all in. There we go. Let's put a couple down here. All right, so now we've got our dots on there. I'm going to take a piece of, well, you can use tear tape. I have a bunch of my red tape still. So I'm going to put the red tape along the bottom, just right here, across the whole length of the bottom. Cut that off. And then now you can use any ribbon that you have, or even a piece of designer series paper would look good. I just still have a bunch of my like this Moody Mauve ribbon from last catalog. It was the in color ribbon. So I'm going to lay that down on here, stick it, and then I'm just going to cut it off. This card I'm going to cut off straight. My sample, I cut it an angle, and I just think I want it straight. And then we're going to just adhere that to the front here. And you see the back of this? Here's your tip. When you're using your glass mat, and you know, I was stamping and it was going off the paper, you want to make sure that you keep your sponge cleaner chamois handy so that you can clean up after yourself, or you could do some major damage to your project if you pick up the residual ink off the glass mat onto paper that you don't quite want to have ink on it. All right. So we're going to glue that down. Changing up a couple things on this one. This one I kind of wanted, it was a little too close to the bottom for me. So this one I've got a little bit of space in there to kind of help offset that whole thing. Then I've got the butterfly die piece. And so let me just show you. The butterfly, the solid image would cut out just obviously the solid butterfly. And then if you lay the extra piece that's in there on it, then you get this intricate cutout in the center. So I'm going to lay that on here. Maybe I'll put it over here and cover up where I got too many dots. I didn't get my dots. All right, so we're just going to glue that down somewhere. think I'm going to put it over here, and this is the perfect size for dimensionals in the middle there. I'm going to use a tiny one because that's what I got handy. And we will glue that on over here. Pop up the centers a little bit. And mine, this first one, can you see I put the Wink of Stella all over it? It looks pretty. I think this one I might just leave plain. But you could Wink of Stella yours if you would like. So that's it, you guys. That's our second card in the, I'm going to call it the series, in the alternates. Shook this a little bit up different from my sample, but either way, makes a great card. So thanks for watching. I'll be back with the third alternate.